So good morning, everybody. This is Andy here, aka Montolio, and we are homesick today and playing in a Legacy Daily event. And this is my first time ever doing a Legacy Daily. I have played several two-mans before and have had reasonable success, and I do know the metagame somewhat from playing TP and two-mans, and of course I do watch some Legacy videos from time to time. So what we are bringing in today is Owen Turtenwald's white, red, blue Delver deck, Stoneforge Mystics, and yeah, not sure about all the nuances of Legacy, but we're going to take it in for a spin, so let's see how it goes. We've won the die roll, and this is round 1 in the daily event. And this looks like a pretty reasonable hand. We got a turn 1 Delver, and where this becomes problematic with a turn 1 Delver is if we get our Tundra wastelanded. And I think as a result of that, I am going to play it safe, and I'm just going to play the Tundra and brainstorm. Turn 1 Delver is good, but we can wasteland his turn 1 play and on turn 2 and play the Delver then. Okay, our opponent is back. And this is a tough decision because I think it is important to get a turn 1 Delver out when you can. However, I think in light of the fact we have no other colored mana, it's just the right play to hold up Brainstorm. And as I say, we do have a nice follow-up play next turn with the Wasteland. So, turn 1 Ponder, which is fine. And here we will brainstorm, leaving a brainstorm second from the bottom. So our Delver flips the following turn. Hopefully we can find a land here. And we found a couple, which is pretty good. So we're going to put a brainstorm back, and I think we will put back a Misty Rainforest. And this turn we will play a Delver's Secrets, playing the Wasteland first, preventing him from getting a daze. On my Delver. And hopefully that will pan out for us. Glad we didn't meet a Force of Will there. Okay, so we're going to have an attrition battle here of Delvers. We like that play. So the question is on turn 3, do we actually play our True Name Nemesis? I mean, we're going to brainstorm for sure. At the end of his turn, we'll see what we get. Hopefully he doesn't hit here, which is great for us. The fact that he has not wastelanded here means he's probably somewhat short on mana, would be my guess. Dark Confident, perhaps? Yeah, we're going to just brainstorm here and see what we can get. Hopefully a Swords to Plowshare, or Lightning Bolt's actually really good too. I think Well, here's the thing, right? I mean, we can cram a TNN in right now, but I think we want to wait until turn 4 when we can hold up a Pierce. So I think it might be reasonable to actually play a Jeet and a Lightning Bolt. So let's do that. Or I'm going to Lightning Bolt here, so I'm going to shuffle away what I'm not using. I think Brainstorm. I mean, how good is Jit in this battle? Probably pretty good. Particularly with a TNN. Yeah, it might just be worth making him use a Daze here. Yeah, I don't think I want to shuffle anything away. I'm content to let the Brainstorm go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to wait here. I'm just going to try and get him with a Lightning Bolt main phase here. We can't let that Dark Confidant hang around, unfortunately. So, actually, let's get that island off the table here first. Yep. Now, I mean, we certainly can circumvent a Force of Will here as well. Okay. And if we're able to get this Delver or Dark Confidant off the table, I think there's relative probability that he does not have land. But we'll see. And then hopefully we can get out a TNN. That is my gurgling fish pot. That's my water jug at home that you're hearing gurgling there. So our opponent's thinking long and hard here. He must have a Force of Will in hand. That would have been my guess there. And he decided not to do it. Hopefully he misses here. And he does. It could be a creature or a land, preferably a creature. And we'll see what happens here. Yeah, so he's mana screwed. Well, I don't think I'm going to cram the TNN here. I mean, I could. Just not sure it's correct. He thought long and hard about Force of Willing that Lightning Bolt. Maybe we do go. Maybe I just put a Jeet in play. I think that's what I'm going to do, is put a Jit into play. Yeah, we might have been able to get the TNN there, but we will see if this thing flips. Okay, so there we go. There's game one. So I'm not sure if we're playing against Bug or not, but I mean, it certainly looks like it's black-blue. The question is, I mean, if we're playing Bug, we really want our Rest in Pieces in there, but we didn't see the green mana component, so I'm not sure that I'm going to bring it in now without knowing. And having said that, if it is Bug, I'm not sure how many Pyroblasts I actually want here. I'm going to take out a Ponder, and You know, a sort of feast and famine could also be quite good as well. Maybe we'll just take out a daze. We'll just see how this goes. Let me take out one more card here. Another ponder maybe. Yeah, let's see how that goes. Get a better idea of what we're playing against. I mean, I'm hesitant to just go all in on bringing Rest in Peace and Sword of Feast and Famine, and if we're playing against Bug, great. If we're not, then those are really bad cards. Well, I don't want to say they're bad cards. I mean, the Sword of Feast and Famine will have applicability in any type of match for the effects that it brings, but not having protection is significant. And of course, Rest in Peace also does shut down things like Snapcaster, the opposing player very well may be playing if he's not on Bug. But let's take a look and see what we're dealing with here first. I feel like we have a reasonable matchup anyways. Not sure if it's right to take out the daze or not. Daze is really good in these type of attrition battles. Land is usually pretty low, but it's usually not as good on the play. All right, I think this is reasonable. We're going to hold that. A little bit high risk once again because of the one land, but we will hold up Brainstorm. And so our opponent's thinking hard here. Okay, so he keeps a hand of 6. All right, well, Deathrite Shaman's pretty good here. I'm very tempted to just main deck bolt that thing right now. He's down to 4 cards. What if he has no other land? Yeah, I think I am gonna. I mean, if he's got a Tarmo, so be it. But we'll take him off his land here. I'm not sure if that is the correct line of play. As I say, hopefully he doesn't have another land and he cheated a little bit, and if that's the case, then so he might be brainstorming here. And he is. Okay. Hopefully he just bricks. Because if he bricks, what we're going to do is Lightning Bolt his Deathrite Shaman. Actually, that might not even be necessary if he bricks here. Yeah, he did get it. So I think that changes our game plan a little bit. Yeah, I think what we're going to do here is we're just going to brainstorm. You know what? I'm gonna kill the Deathrite Shaman. It's a bit of a gamble doing it, but and I wouldn't even be so bad if he tried to Spell Pierce me here, because we do have the Daze in hand. What we need to avoid here is a Wasteland. Okay, so got a bit lucky, I would say here. Oh yeah, that's really sweet. Okay. So I'm just going to actually drive the Delver here. Because what I'll do is I will brainstorm at end of turn and try and get another land to be able to hold up Pyroblast for the Stoneforge Mystic. And yeah, we'll see if our opponent here is trying to brainstorm. If he is, with no other land, we will daze that. And if he's got a Force of Will, then we will Pyroblast it. And we can still play out a Stoneforge the following turn. So he does have a land. Maybe he'll try and play a... Okay, so he's got a Lightning Bolt, and there's nothing we can do about that. Which is fine. So let's go and get a white source here, and we're going to brainstorm. And hitting a wasteland here is actually pretty good. The question is do we try and jam a Stoneforge? And I don't think that's very good. Maybe it is. Maybe it just is good. Yeah, maybe I'm going to do that. Because now I've got the counters up to do it, so we very well may see a Force of Will here. Okay, so he's left that, so he might have a Lightning Bolt still. That's fine. We're not far off hard casting a Batterskull. And I mean, our opponent very well probably realizes that we do have a Pyroblast or a Hydro or a Pyroblast in our hand. Okay, so our opponent has Lightning Bolted us. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to brainstorm here again. And hopefully he tries to counter my brainstorm, which we will let him do. Because we can't stop this with a daze. But that's unfortunate that we've lost our Stoneforge Mystic. We don't have any other pressure at the moment if we don't draw into something here with our brainstorm. But I don't think we're in a bad position per se. Okay, so we bricked there a little bit. Okay, so there goes our Stoneforge. So hopefully he tries to use his turn here to brainstorm or to ponder, and we can double wasteland him next turn. Of course, that leaves us in a position where we're not doing much, but hopefully we draw into something. We can use our fetch if he doesn't next turn and shuffle our stuff. You know, he knows we've got a wasteland here, so he's obviously, if he's not running any basics, he's loath to crack his turn. And we're just going to take that volcanic island right now. I'm not sure if that sequence of plays last turn was right. We may have been better to just wait. But regardless, that was the path we chose. And so our opponent's thinking here. And of course, we're going to crack our fetch at the end of his turn to shuffle away our other land that's underneath. And any type of creature would be really good for us here. I beg your pardon. So our opponent is having land difficulties big time. I think I'm just going to go for an... Do I want another white? I think I'll take the red. I don't think it matters too much at this stage in the game. Let's get a creature here would be good. Okay, double daze is not bad because we're going to try and cram a batter skull next turn. And having double daze is pretty powerful. Particularly if he doesn't have another land here. Sorry, for those of you who have not really watched any of my classic videos in the past, I have a habit of rolling poker chips while I play. And if you're wondering what that sound is, that's what it is. I know it's kind of annoying when you're listening, but that's the price you have to pay to watch these videos. Okay, so we've hit a ponder here. I do think that I mean, he'd have to have a sequence of 3 counterspells to beat this. So I am going to try and get it into play here. I don't see a reason not to try. Batterskull will most rest assuredly be quite difficult for him to remove. Okay, so he does have a Force of Will. So we are going to daze it. And this forces him to crack his fetch. To pay it. And so even if this gets countered, even if it gets countered, we're going to be able to wasteland his land, which is pretty significant. So let's see if he's got another Force of Will in hand. And if he does, yeah, and he does, which is fine. So he's depleted his hand significantly here. Of course, we've lost a good card in the Batterskull, but we've got an advantage with the lands here, so let's hope that he misses again. And he didn't, so... Okay, so our opponent's casting something. Okay, Hymn to Torak. That's a pretty nice card. Unfortunately got our Ponder and our Tundra. So we're just going to wasteland him here. And we're going to play the draw-go game. And we'll just play a Volk Island because we don't want to lose our Tundra. So our opponent is drawing lands, unfortunately. An STP. We are going to expose our Tundra here now in the event we draw something. I want to play it. Okay, and we are definitely going to counter that. I see no reason not to. We just want to keep him off spells as long as we can in lands. Oh, that's a good one to draw. And we can pay for a daze in the event he runs it. Unfortunately, all we have left is a Jeet in our library, but a Jeet is still a powerful piece of equipment, so... And we're the first to get a creature down. Okay, so there's the Brainstorm. We cannot stop that one, unfortunately. So hopefully he bricks here. Yeah, that Hymn to Torak. It was painful to lose that ponder. You know, I'm just thinking back to that double days play with the batter skull. I'm just not sure if it was right to go all in there. We could have easily pondered, dug for another land, and had a little bit more security that way. So there we go. He bricked, and yeah, it looks like we got it around 1 alive. We'll take it.